Kliff Kingsbury, who's, I don't know why I laughed when I saw this last night. He says he's praying every day that Kyler Murray's contract situation is settled before training camp rolls around. I don't know why, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. This is something where the Cardinals are looking for the perfect deal, and Murray is showing up wanting to get paid, and by the time camp rolls around, if there's not a deal done, things could get ugly. That's why he's praying, because the starting quarterback could be in a contractual dispute by the time it actually gets time to go play. I'm praying before camp. I just want him there day one of training camp. And Murray, to his credit, has been there through the mandatory sessions and showed up during the OTAs, which surprised a lot of people, the voluntary sessions of this. I think that is a sign that he's trying to show the leadership qualities that people have been discussing behind the scenes about him. Nonetheless, there's Kingsbury, who shares the agent, of course, with Murray, and has been a storyline going back prior to the draft and right after they were knocked out of the postseason, the wild card round, where they are linked at the hip. And if Kingsbury, who's going into year 4 of this, guys, doesn't have Murray, I think we've looked at it from the other aspect. If he doesn't have Murray, what does that mean for his future as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
this is a big year for both
neither of them have great stock right now, so the question is, like, who can do better, and neither of them can do well without the other doing well, really. So you're right. I mean, they're tied. And they either odds are they both do well or they both fail. The odds of one of them surviving the other, out-surviving the other, seem pretty limited. Like, if Kyler Murray does well, that means Kliff Kingsbury's doing well, and vice versa.
Right.
Here's what so Kliff Kingsbury, right? Let's just start with him offensively. I feel like Kliff Kingsbury should not be a coach with his offensive background that needs to be tied to any one quarterback. I also think that Kyler Murray, number 1 overall pick, should be a quarterback that can do a number of different things with different coaches, right? So I understand where they're tied together right now, but I feel like that should not be the case for both of them ultimately. But I think it is, right? I don't think Kliff Kingsbury, if he's not going to be successful now, he's not going to be successful as a head coach, right?
Would you vote thumbs up or thumbs down on where they're headed? I vote thumbs down. I think
thumbs down.
3 years through Kyler Murray, verdict is generally in on a quarterback.
I may be dead wrong based on what you guys think of where this is going. I think Kyler Murray can survive and get a contract extension without Kingsbury having success. I don't think Kingsbury can stick around.
Well,
without Kyler Murray working.
Yeah, look, it's hard to find quarterbacks. It's not hard to find coaches.
But I agree with that.
But I do stand by the offseason sentiment I had. Where it just feels like this is one or the other, and they're both fighting for that foothold. And the time to win that foothold, if you're Kingsbury, was this past offseason prior to the draft. If you didn't want to move forward with him, and now that time is come and gone, and therefore, the backup quarterback in Arizona is Colt McCoy. Trace McSorley is there now, and then for the preseason, guys, Jarrett Garantano is going to be taking reps within the offense for Kliff Kingsbury.
And the day after the preseason's over,
the Cardinals soul.
The day after the preseason's over, he'll be auditioning for the XFL or the USFL.
I mean, there is going to be an undrafted free agent safety that's going to have 7 pick sixes come camp.
There's a third name to this.
You know the Titans have a joint practice with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Well,
it may be Amani Hooker.
Theo Jackson's going to do exactly what he did in college. He's going to have a bunch of pick sixes.
There's a third name to this hut that we should consider also, Steve Keim, who, by the way, drafted Josh Rosen 12th overall and got a reset. The coach isn't getting a reset. The quarterback probably isn't getting a reset. But the GM got a major reset. Maybe before that, he got a Steve Wilkes reset. He got Josh Rosen reset. Where's he in this?
So he drafted Rosen too? Yeah. I thought he inherited. My bad. I thought he inherited that and then inherited the number 1 pick.
No, he's been there a while. I'm virtually
2017 would have been the draft here, right? No, 2019.
Yeah. He's been there a while. I think he's been there seven
I think if
years.
I'm going, I don't know personal relationships within that, the ownership and them, but if I'm ranking, best, safest to least safe, I'm going Kyler Murray, Kliff Kingsbury, Steve Keim last in terms of the quickest one to get the axe.